Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you know about my situation, Sarah. I'm not even sure because every time I talk to somebody from the coroner's court, they don't know nothing about my situation, and I just find that very insulting to be calling and nobody knows my situation. So I don't know if you know my situation or if I've got to go through it.
I'm aware of, obviously, Ambrose and then obviously the death and the sort of circumstances. I'm also aware that you've been sort of liaising both with the coroner's office but also by email, and then obviously you've had Haringey Mortuary and the council as well, so I appreciate it's a sensitive issue for you.
What, the fact that my son's death's being covered up, the truth.
I've obviously, I'm aware of the sort of the I suppose the information that's sort of out there.
But what they showed me, Sarah, they showed me a body that they found a body. They told me that the body was so badly decomposed that not even fingerprints would be taken from this body.
Yeah.
Then when we finally did get to see the body, which was a second visit to the mortuary, to find a complete body laying there, covered from head to toe with a white sheet, with just the left arm showing with a tattoo for me to ID that body by a tattoo of my granddaughter. I said at the time, yes, that is my son, because I recognised the date of birth and the tattoo, but he was full of tattoos. But then I wanted to go inside and see the rest of I wanted to see the scar on his knee from a car accident. It's only when I've gone in the room, I've noticed a tattoo on the side of him of a Mexican lady that just wasn't there at all. The scar that he had on his knee was a totally different shape. It was an L shape, when my son had a 12-inch scar right down over his knee. And none of that. They've done no DNA. They've done no hair samples, no teeth. They've done nothing to confirm that body is my son. And the only reason Andrew Walker said that was my son is because of a documentary that was made against our wishes. We did not want it aired after we saw the preview of it. And Andrew Walker based his whole inquest on one line that he was shown from that documentary, and has ignored every bit of evidence that we have proved that the police are covering up my son's murder. And I don't know if that body's my son or not. So what they're doing, the police dragged my child sexual abuse into it, which was in the care system from me and my twin sister from babies. We've been in care all our lives. They promised to, so they dragged that in, but not realising I was going to be one of the, which I don't know if you know about them, the Shirley Oak Survivors Association, which is to do with Lambeth. Okay, it's to do with Lambeth. It's a big £100 million compensation scheme, apparently, that I'm part of. But as the thing's gone on, as the inquiry's gone on, they've mixed up the police have dragged my child abuse into it, so I'm mixing that with my son's case. To find out 5 years down the line, that was all just a fake whitewash, just to divert us from what I was doing with my son. We're still sitting here, Lambeth's been found liable, we're still sitting here, no compensation, and the only reason I wanted that compensation, which is in all the reports, was to get my independent, because we haven't had an independent autopsy, and I want to know what happened and what's wrong with that body. And that is the only reason I need to end this. I mean, I'm physically, mentally, emotionally I've been diagnosed with all sorts of crap that it's just adding to my everything that I can't even get anybody to listen or see why I cannot bury a body under these circumstances, and I've been ignored for 5 years solid. They've even got on report. If you look at his CT scan information from Bart's Hospital, it's got my son's date of birth is the 1st of January, Sarah, 1983. My son's date of birth is the 2nd of March, 1984, and his middle name's missing. And all the details on that official document is contradictory to everything the police have said. Andrew Walker should never have held that inquest with that document that is not verified. That's not my son. The 1st of January 1983 is not my son. My son was born the 2nd of March 1984, and for that, and they said it was amended twice by Jacqueline Reed and by Rebecca Smith. They said it was amended twice, and by Laurie Roach. All three of them said it was amended twice. We're talking about still to use that same information and that document at the court at the inquest. How can I accept this? I'm a human being. I have rights. How can I accept this? There are laws and there are rules and laws that have to be followed, and this is disgusting that people are forcing me to do this, and I will not. I refuse to, and I'm going to do it all the way because I have rights, and just these few issues I've told you is enough for me to warrant my rights. That CT scan, that information they've handed over is nothing to do with my son. They've told complete lies. It contradicts everything the inquest held. They haven't even investigated what's on that CT report, what actually did happen. haven't. They've done totally different, made out that my son got in his car, drove 100 miles per hour, and he killed he basically ran and fell into the river. No, he was beaten up and attacked and ambushed just before he went missing. He was seen running into the arms of Metropolitan Police, half naked, and we did not see him come back down. And then we saw a lifeless body, Sarah, being carried down the side of the Fox Pub. For them not to keep ignoring this is not acceptable. It's not acceptable, and I'm not putting up with it. No, I won't. I refuse to. I would die doing this rather than be forced because of the wrongdoings of the Metropolitan Police who killed my child. And I've seen it on CCTV, and Andrew Walker's just dismissed it all as if it has nothing to do with my son going. And I can't accept that. And I won't accept it. I'm going to die saying this. I'm not going to accept it. And if anybody dare, if they bury that body up, how can my rights be ripped from me like this under these circumstances? It's all there, the evidence. I've been out there for 5 years on the internet. I've got 10 groups. I don't stop on every day of my life for 5 years. Since my boy's been gone, I've been on this laptop and I do not move. My body's finished. Because I'm not being heard. I'm not being heard by anybody, and this is wrong. It's wrong. It's absolutely wrong. They took no photo. They've done nothing. They've actually just they ignored me for 56 hours, Sarah, when I called them saying my boy had been attacked. They ignored me for 56 hours and left me at Tottenham Marshes. And they've all been cleared of all this, and they just say my son fell in the river. I cannot accept that. This is my child, my firstborn. I'm not going to have it. I'm lost without him.